Doug, how you doing, buddy?
Mark, we win.
Hey, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
That customary greeting. You know, I was thinking about greetings, and
Oh,
recently I watched this movie written by, done by Muhammad Ali himself or his family or with his endorsement or something like that. It was kind of like his life story, and when he changed to become a Muslim, when he phoned his family, he used a Muslim greeting, Shalom, something or other. Anyway, uh, I don't know exactly what the phrase is, but it means peace be with you, which is a greeting. And in Western society, instead of saying peace be with you and blessing somebody right away as soon as you see them, we say, hi, how are you? We ask a question.
well, I think that our common greeting is more like peace on you. It's
Pete,
like that.
peace on you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really bad. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's terrible. So my point being is that Muslims, and I think Jews do this too, because they use shalom as a greeting, um, and Hawaiians, aloha, right? I'm sure many other cultures and societies have similar type greetings, but we greet each other with, "Hi, how are you?" And the typical answer is, "Not bad." Ugh. Why not give a blessing? We need an English phrase for to bless somebody when we first come across them. So what's the
But,
point?
well, which is, I guess, one of the reasons I like the Hindu greeting Namaste, which one, there's many ways to interpret that, but um, it was interesting. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't want to go there. I was
Yeah, what's the
like,
point, right?
yeah, what's the point?
Well,
Sorry.
well, that's why I'm calling you. What the point for me is, I mean, wow,
Oh, there you are. I see the article. Okay. Point
yeah.
for
The point for me, rather than me just wasting more of your time with pointless questions, let's get to the point. And the point for you is,
well, let's frame this in a way that really helps the people who might be interested in figuring out what we're talking about,
okay,
and explain to me why it is that you got me into this conversation to discuss this article, because sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Uh, why this particular one?
well, because this one has some controversy for some people. And I know that we've had some debates with people that we've been very close with over time. We've lost some friends over this very issue, this this equality and ownership of the God entity, if I may phrase it that way, um, where we take possession through our phrases and our dialogue. We take possession of God in a way, and it bothers people. But back to our greeting, and your favorite greeting was Namaste, which is the God in me greets the God in you, and so it is an acknowledgement of who's on the inside here, and that offends some people. Explain yourself, Mr. Ferguson. Explain yourself. What's going on here?
Which is, and I'm going to make a point right up front. We might as well get it out. The people that it offends are the people it should offend the least, because based on what they say, they base their beliefs on. How on earth can they be offended? Meaning, um, it's in the book, and people are so selective about what they get, whether Well, I mean, look at the religious wars that are going on, supposedly that come out of the Quran, which, you know, I've always kind of made light of the the Muslim Christian wars or conflicts in Lebanon because I'm a bit of a history buff related to Muhammad and what he wrote, what he believed, and he's peacemaker on one side. Jesus is a peacemaker on the other side. So the war between Christians and Muslims is ridiculous. Always has been.
Well, how about the war between Muslims and Muslims?
Yeah, well, there you go. How about the wars between Christians and Christians, or between Jews and Jews, or, you know, and when you stop and look at, when you think in terms of Muslims, Arabs, and Jews and Christians, which are really offshoots of Jews, if you look at it that way, we all share, and when I say we all, I'm talking about mankind, based on those three religions, and I'm realizing I'm leaving out a host of millions of people, but based on those three religions, you're talking about they all share the same human father, Abraham. Abraham's the father of the Jews. Abraham's the father of Christians. Abraham's the father of Arabs, of Muslims.
What's the point? What's the point?
That is the point. It's saying that, you know, I mean, I don't ever understand, never have, never will. I understand that, you know, the moment, you know all the trouble I've gotten into with certain Christians and in pointing out that, you know, Muhammad's my brother, just as Jesus is my brother. And they go ape, you know. Well, excuse me, but it was Jesus that introduced me to Muhammad as being a living being. And we're going to get to this, I think. Didn't I put this in this article or not?
Oh, I can't tell you what I put in the article, what you put in the article. I probably edited that part out because I know that it would offend way too many people if you were to suggest to anybody that Muhammad is your brother and Jesus is your brother.
I'm on record. Well, there's a thing that really has offended many people. Call it blasphemy. I am. And can I go there for a moment?
Go, my friend.
Well, it's very interesting to me. Here's some logic for anybody that wants some logic. And that is that Jesus was recorded as saying, before there was an Abraham, I am. Now, I know what certain Christians make of that, which is, well, then, you know, he is God. Yeah, and I'm not going to denigrate that view. You know, anybody can believe what they want. But whoa, wait a minute, because Jesus said that whatever he said, and all the things he said were not him saying them. They were the spirit parent or God or the Father or Father, Mother, do whatever you want with it, in him saying those words. And he really pointed it out when he was talking to one of his disciples. I'm trying to think of the name right now. Philip, you've been with me so long, and you don't know that what I've said is not what I'm saying. It's what God's saying through me. What I didn't do it. Those were the works of our Father. Well, whoa, folks, before you want to make any theology of that, what he very clearly also said was, anybody who believes enough, and I can prove that, that's the qualifier word in the original language, anybody that believes enough will do the same things you've seen me do. And he'll speak the same words. Why? Because it won't be me doing it, won't be you doing it. It isn't Jesus that did it. It's the Spirit within us that speaks those words and does those things. I've contended for a long time. People used to point to me as, and you know a few of them that pointed to me as it, that as having a healing ministry. I've always said, whoa, it isn't me that does it. Get off of that, because if you get into that, you're going down the wrong road. It's not Doug Ministries of anything, period. And yet, what's the point here? The point is, I am is saying the same thing that Jesus said, who said that if we believe enough, we'll be saying the same things he said. I am. There, that's my point.
Well, there's a point here that you make, suggesting that every religious group teaches something that's counter to what you're saying here. And the statement is, you have been taught by whatever religious group or culture you have adopted, you are of the same identity. I am. So you're saying that they teach something totally different in every other religion?
No, is that what I said?
Well, here I'll read it from. I'll read the whole statement, and you can pick up the inference for yourself. I picked up that you are saying that. If you're reading this right now and will release all judgment and every preconceived idea you have been taught by whatever religious group or culture you have adopted, you are of the same identity. I am. Okay? So you're saying that all of these religious groups and cultures have taught something opposite to that. They've taught that, no, you're not I am. You can't speak for I am. You can't do it. So in essence, those are the people you're challenging. You're challenging all the people in every culture and every religion that says that you are not God. And God has no part in you. And that's why you need Jesus, or you need Muhammad, or you need Shiva. Right? Isn't that what you're saying?
It's an interesting point of view of taking what I'm saying out to that extent. Well,
how should I take it? How should I take it? That's why I'm asking the question. Because originally what I said at the beginning was, you're presenting here something very controversial. And the controversy is that you're saying that religions teach this, and you're saying this is true.
Yeah, okay.
And not just religion, but culture too. So culturally speaking, if even if you're not engaged in a religion, your culture will say that you're not universal, you're not part of all that is, you're not it, you're just Joe, Pete, Doug, Mark. Although being Mark's much better than being Doug. I'm just joking. So what are you saying there, buddy? I mean, that's a kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's a tough concept to get your head around. I don't care. Let's put it this way: I don't care what any religion says. If you're ready to accept the challenge, then you might want to consider what the challenge is and who the challenge is from. It's not from me.
Okay, and so that's what the previous dialogue was about you disconnecting yourself from responsibility for making the statement as a spokesman for I am.
No, it's not even that. I'm allowing I am to speak through me. And I am tells me, let it go, I am. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And why that's such a powerful word in the universe is simply, I go back to the only thing my roots are, reading it in what was it, Exodus, where Moses had the encounter with the voice in the burning bush. What did the voice say?
It's right here. It's Exodus 3:14.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Yeah, it just so happens to be on the screen. What a coincidence that is.
Bible thumper. Oh, really? Did I? Oh, you put it on I didn't put it in the article, did I? I never use Bible references.
Well, and you give a prescription too, and the prescription for you to arrive the willingness to let go of your preconceived notions and cultural indoctrination is with this mantra: I am in and of the will of God. Your presence and power are upon me. I have and want nothing else, and no other thought or feeling shall have permanent place in me. I am. That was the beginning of your journey to where you are today. Is that right?
That was the beginning on a walk. Actually, I was jogging on a beach in Maui.
So, we do something called You Without Limits. And becoming without limits, really, part of that process is letting go of those preconceived ideas and cultural norms that that have been deeply ingrained into us. And you're, in essence, giving away one of the largest keys to becoming without limits. Would you say? No?
I agree.
Did you read this article? Or did you just send it to me?
No, I wrote it. But you see, when I say I write it, that's kind of a euphemism when you get down to it. It's like one of the first books I wrote in the spiritual genre, which is you republished in 2010, Treasure Chest. It's actually the beginning title was a Treasure Chest of God's Gifts or something like that. And it was a pretty popular book around the world. And when I didn't write the foreword or my author's introduction until I was halfway through the book. And the only reason I wrote it was amazing to me, was how do you take credit for being an author of something? Everybody that was of a spiritual nature that I knew at the time, I'm saying that with all seriousness now, that people who believe deeply in that which is beyond, to use that terminology, would agreed. I didn't write it. I couldn't have wrote it. So what do you know?
Because you're a talentless bum, right?
That sounds wacky enough, but to me, in my frame of reference, it's even wackier to say, I wrote this, when there's no way I could have written it. Well, I don't, when it's a transcribing thing. As I tell people, I get into a zone. I was in a zone when I wrote this. I wrote this at about 1:30 in the morning on my wife's laptop out in the living room, and I was getting ready to go to the gym real early in the morning, just past midnight actually, and this hit me, and I had to write it. And then, okay, now I go back through things because I don't trust my own filter, and some of it really gets garbled. So I did a little bit of editing, but not that much. And as soon as I wrote it, I sent it to you. There it is.
Well, I'm going to recommend that as soon as we're done here, you take the time to go read it, because it's a pretty good article. It's controversial. There's no doubt about it.
I believe it. What have I ever written that wasn't?
You write some stuff that's just okay.
Yeah, like business stuff, ad copy. It's okay.
It's okay. Hey,
but
well, I think you got your point across.
You liked this one well enough to call me and have this nice little get together where we exchange greetings. Peace on you, brother.
Well, I'm not going to reject your greeting. You can say what you like. Namaste. Till next time.
Till next time. Oh, you mean, say goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye, Mark.